Namaste, Sashvikal Adab. We welcome you on my show Coffee Table with Isha on B Media. हम इस शो में बातचीत करेंगे एक स्पेशल गेस्ट के साथ, जानेंगे उनकी जर्नी के बारे में और आज के प्रेजेंट मुद्दों के बारे में भी हम बात करेंगे। आज की स्पेशल गेस्ट है डॉक्टर नैंसी जुनेजा, जो कि ना ही एक मदर है, एंटरप्रेन्योर है, एजुकेशनिस्ट है, बट ऑल्सो शी इज अवार्ड विनी फ्रॉम यूएन। चलिए ले चले उनकी जर्नी। So, friends, we have Dr. Nancy Jadeja on board. She is an educationist, a mentor, founder of Rework. She has claimed so many awards. She's got Sarojini Naidu Award, International Award by London. UN has also recognized her, and she has so many awards. So, Nancy, welcome you on We Media with Coffee with Isha.
Thank you. Thank you, Isha. It's a pleasure being here today with you.
Yeah. So, Nancy, we would like to know how was your journey, how you started.
Yes, wonderful. So, as every entrepreneur, start with some do's and don'ts of the startup. But my journey was a bit different. Some of the people, recognize their passion along with their journey. And that what happened with me. Born and brought up in a family who's running, educational institutions in the capital of India, Delhi, since 3 decades. I got a chance to work with my father at the age of 16. So once I joined my own family school, interacting with all the stakeholders, be it parents, be it, children or the management, I got to know that once I dwell into education, that is what is my, I'm cut out for. That is the need of the hour too. So yes, I moved, ahead of academic education and launched RevUp Life Skills Unit at the age of 23.
So, tell the audience what RevUp is all about. Because it's a very new thing which has come up in India, and I have been a part and parcel, and it's very exciting. So, I want my viewers to know that what exactly RevUp is.
Sure, indeed. Talking about your own baby, it is something like that when an entrepreneur talk about their entrepreneurship journey. And talking about RevUp, my first entrepreneurship venture, it is RevUp Life Skills Unit. It is by the literal means, RevUp means, increasing the speed of the engine, increasing the speed of the life. And so RevUp Life Skills focus upon the domain area of life skills, new age life skills for Gen Next, for 21st century. It's been almost 10 years, we're working upon from formative years that starts from 5 years to 17 years till the time you move out of your school to face the challenges of the campus. And thereon, there's a series of entrepreneurship journey ahead, followed by MentorX School of Learning, and so on. The journey goes on.
Yeah, and that's the right time because a lot of time students don't know, and they have a lot of talent, but they have this thing that how will I go forward, and they lack the confidence. So you give them the right way how to be confident, and you also give them a platform where they can even share the skills.
Yes.
So Nancy, you started this approximately, I think, after your marriage or around about your wedding.
Yeah, you're very true. So, frankly, I was always working even before wedding, almost for 8 years in education sector. I was working in all the prestigious institutions of Delhi and NCR, be it all the IITs, IIMs. But I started my mobility after wedding. So trust me, it was like a butterfly, coming out of the caterpillar, coming out of the cocoon after wedding, which is vice versa in majority of the girls' case. And that's how my journey began. I started traveling across Delhi, outside India. Definitely my client broadened up, collaborations, partnerships. That is what happened. And there was no looking back. Today, when I look back, RevUp is not just in, 65 countries. I feel proud to represent Indian education system, globally, be it in students, be it among the startups or in, women entrepreneurs. So it's just all over.
So, Nancy, you're the true example of New Age India. When a woman, after getting married, coming out of her own skills and, expanding her horizon. So, you are the right face of the New Age India, I feel. Coming back to the topic where I want to focus upon, we all are deeply affected by the pandemic. And since it seems to be this year also, the schools are not going to open up. So what kind of suggestions you want to tell to the parents to go forward, especially for the younger kids? Because younger kids have a lot of problems. A lot of the kids haven't gone to the school yet, and online classes are a big trouble. So what kind of suggestion you want to give to the parents, whose kids are from 5 to 10 age group?
Yeah, surely. Being the school owner, being an educationist, as well as being a mother of two beautiful souls, I feel, I always say, Shneet, you don't make choices, choices make you. Yes, it has been a tough year. Yes, 2020 taught us to do everything which we never expected. If a mother can run a school of the two children and her entrepreneurship venture also side by side, anything can happen. But my advice, as a parent and as an educationist would be that this year has taught us much. The domain area that I work upon, life skills, trust me, the children have a winning edge in this year. They have realized the challenges that they need to surpass by. They realize that there are certain boundaries apart from just the bookish knowledge. So people have just not been the bookworms. Yes, it's been a tough year, but trust me, these children have been mature than ever. If you see, you're also mother of two young children who are going to toddlers group too. But trust me, the agility, the excitement, the energy levels that we are seeing in the children is mind blowing. They're understanding the conditions. So I feel this is not just an advice, it's just something you can say a mantra for simple living, that our children are already facing the challenges at right time, probably much early in life. They have seen this year as a tough time for them. Yes, I understand that they miss the emotional touch. I understand that they miss the informal talk with the friends. I understand that the classroom can never replace the classroom. But still, we need to know that there are many things that they have learned. And once they are back, I just say that this shall too pass. And once they're back to their school routine, trust me, they need to learn that 2020 have taught them much of life skills which would be needed to make them life ready, not just job ready, which schools these days are doing.
And one more thing I would like to add, Nancy, if you agree upon that, we as parents should have less expectations from our kids, since for them, I feel it's much more tough. We are still moving out, and we have put them into a web, and we're not even taking them out. So I think we should have less expectations, and even schools should have less expectations from our kids. It's not easy to cling with a phone or an iPad or anything and
Very
sit for
true.
hours.
Very true. And to add a point here from management point of view, trust me, not just the parents, the children, even the teachers, everyone, has seen 2020 as a different point altogether. What could happen in education fraternity in 10 years have happened in 1 year. This digitalization has completely given us a global perspective. And somehow, yes, we have pros and cons, but we don't have any choice. So we need to deal with it. So I feel one should see the brighter side of this situation.
And one thing more, there's a new trend of coding these days, Nancy. Suddenly we see that a lot of codings, it's coming up. So what is the right age to start coding with kids? And is it quite fruitful, or it seems to be fruitful?
So you're talking about certain extracurricular activities in which I say coding is one of them, as there are many. So trust me, when children are indoors for 1 year, we see many of the things coming up and cropping up, which was not there at our age. Trust me, if I remember when I was 5 or 6, I never imagined I'll be doing coding, or I'll be, sitting in front of online sessions for 3 to 4 hours in a day. It wasn't the case. But see, being an educationist, I'll not say I'll be saying here coding is good or not, but I'll say what is advanced today. The digitalization has taken it in a different level altogether. But still, we need to stick to that old age rules of the education. I'll not say it is bad or good. It is completely personal choice of the parents. but please try to understand the acumen of the child. It is good to be tech savvy, but it is really, we cannot make our children robots at this age. We need to try to understand. There's a very thin line, between being human and human being. But by the overload of technology, we are creating, I feel, walking encyclopedia, talking encyclopedia. So in a way, I've told you whether to go for it or not. I need my child as bubbly as possible, as I had my childhood, instead of some robot coming in front of me. So
Very.
over to you.
So, Nancy, since Rev is in 66 countries, so what kind of difference you find in our academic structure, in our children and children abroad? Do you think we are ahead? Do you think we are not ahead? So, what is your take on that?
So basically, it is always the blend of holistic learning and westernized education. As definitely we had taken a lot of sessions and workshops, in with IASL, which is International Association of British Library, where we have around 50 countries. And trust me, in Middle East, in Tokyo, and in Netherlands, many of the states that I have traveled, and probably I have traveled virtually more in this year, I feel it's, zooming way to success for children. Children learned so much. Gone are the times when we waited for the class sixth or seventh, when we had student exchange program, and when our children can go to the different states, to our countries, to know their culture. But this time there was a huge difference in different education system, and we were privileged to know that. I can say that yes, Gurukul system, the holistic living, is there in India, and we vouch for that. And there are many countries who are following it. But at the same time, we had the privilege to follow the international child prodigies, the concept of recognizing global child prodigy from the age of fifth. From the age of even toddlers. Nobody knew that these children can apply for the world records, which were not there. So that, outside exposure, coming out of the cocoon, painting the roads, painting the walls, it has all come from the Western culture. And definitely, Indian students are learning a lot. So it's more coming out of the books and coming to the practical knowledge, which gives you a winning edge.
And Nancy, what is the three things you think is important to be successful? Because that will be applicable for everyone. So, three things, since you had a wide variety of knowledge, and from being an entrepreneur, from being a social activist, to being an educationist, you had the legs everywhere. So, what do you think is that helped you? The three tips you want to give to our viewers that helped you to be a successful woman?
To be a successful woman. Okay, that makes it all the more tricky. And I'll just start by, the definition of success, trust me, is different for each one. Maybe it is different for you, it is different for me, and trust me, it changes time to time. What maybe a success for me in teens was to make a world tour out of my expenses, and now I see my children dreams in that. So it just changes. So being a woman,
Now the success for you would be taking your friends along.
Exactly. And after this year, after the lockdown, on a lighter side, I'll say the focus is more on being balancing between the work life balance as well as your own recreation. So we are spending time on that too. So there are many things else. So for success, if I see, it is definitely the three P's which is required every time. That is the purpose, the passions, and the perseverance to follow that. So,
Wow.
once you have the purpose you're following
the
it.
passion,
Yeah.
and the perseverance.
Exactly.
Right.
So these three things are part and parcel, and once you follow them, I guess, being you a woman or a man, I am not talking about being, it's a International Women Month, but still I'll stay away from just being biased for the women, be it a woman or a man or a child. If you have these three P's in your life, at any stage of your life, you'll be focused, and no matter the definition of success change, no matter you are affected by the outside forces, but you'll have focus in your life, and you will be really dwelling high.
So, Nancy, as you mentioned about the focus, a lot of time we have been witnessing that students and our children are losing their focus. There's so much of distractions everywhere. So how to deal with that?
Surely. So this is really need of the hour, and I'll say apt, very apt question according to the lifestyle that we are having, and according to the, I'll say, the Gen Next. It is very tough to have them, focus and keep away from the distraction at this point of time when you're operating from home, and especially this past year have told us, how to conserve yourself. So I'll say, definitely the life skills play a very important role. We say that there are four aspects in the child's growth, that is PQ, personality quotient, EQ, emotional quotient, spiritual quotient, SQ, and CQ, creative question. So once we are doing a 360-degree approach of the overall development, focus is required in each and every field. And what is required is, as I told you, it is wonderful if one has to develop the SQ, spiritual focus. You need to dwell into meditation, you need to develop into the activities like writing a daily journal, many other things, tapping, and we do that by and large each day and night. We come up with all these exercises in life skills, as well as the schools are also following them, and this helps us in maintaining the focus. Not just this, the children, the more exposure they have, and the more they are interacting with the children of different genre, their peers, they recognize what they have, what strength they have, and they recognize if they don't have, they need to peep into themselves and need to focus upon developing the qualities. So definitely the children are getting street smart. I feel they get this competitiveness, and they are getting, they're having the fire in the belly to perform, and for that they know that focus is required, and we parents mothers are always there, to after them, to make them right in the right direction.
So, Nancy, was the journey tough? In 10 years, you had two kids, their education. You must have been, slammed with so many questions like, how do you manage kids? Because most of us, are you have to answer this question, not the fathers, I feel. So, I'm sure these kind of questions you must have heard. So, how did you manage? And actually, how did you manage your kids with your work, since you were traveling and, you have a spectra of your, and you into so diversified fields. So how did you manage?
Wonderful. So I feel once you're asking the question, I guess the women in you is already answering it to yourself, because what you asked, you are doing exactly the same. So I feel not just me, not just you, each and every woman on the planet, once you're married, once you are a mother, you are a multitasker. Everyone knows women make the best entrepreneurs. So to all the men who are watching us, this is for them. So, I'll say there are three
whether they
major.
recognize it or not, whether the men recognize it or not, but yes, even
Yeah,
if the woman is not working, she's multitasking in the morning. So
it
even
is.
they are
It is.
homemakers, they are multitasking. They are doing so many things in a row. So yes.
Yeah, so a pat on your back and my back, I'll say, Shneet. And I'll definitely come back to your question, which I'll say there are three challenges majorly, which every woman face, and which is, marriage, maternity, and mobility. Once you are wed, so not just you are a girl, apart from the girl, you become a wife, daughter-in-law, mother, your friend, you are so much into society that you need to do. And while you're playing all the roles, you need to see your travel plans accordingly, you need to fix up your business meets accordingly, each and everything, because once a mother, always a mother, whether your children are a toddler or a teen. So the pressures go on with the age. So I feel, yes, like every woman, I also face the same, and like every doting mother, I do the same, like my mother has done for me. So I feel there's a very thin line of balance that we women have to do, and we're doing it all. And most importantly, what is required is to keep your eyes and ear completely shut off from the what society is telling you. So that has to be done. How you do, what you do, it is just cooking the stories. Only you know. You are the boss of your home. You are the mother of your children. If you need to reduce the weight, no one will do push-ups for you. Similarly, if you have to raise your children, you are raising them in the best way possible. So the women knows it all, how they do it. There are many challenges. Is definitely not a hunky dory. There are no free lunches in society, and trust me, the 10 years have been wonderful. But with every passing time, I feel My children are growing, seeing an independent woman in their house. And that is what I want to give them. That is a legacy that they will build upon.
Yes, I think your kids are already learning so much from you by watching their mother doing so much of multitasking. I think your kids are becoming more independent also. That's the advantage. That when they see their mothers doing multitasking, they become pretty independent. So Nancy, do you want to acknowledge your family for always supporting you, or there wasn't any support? What do you want to say about it?
Surely. So this is not some, an answer for a Filmfare or for a Padam Shri award, but trust me, for zooming my way to success, definitely there's a support of family. Before wedding, also, it was family who, helped me to make me focus on my passion, who was always there. I was just a girl with the twinkling dreams in my eyes, but they were the one who, made me believe that, yes, I can be somebody I wish to be. And definitely after wedding, there were always silly questions I used to hear that decide your career according to your husband after your wedding, decide your grow your career after you have your first kid, and expand in your business after your second kid. And these all, silly questions come on and on at every passage of time. But with the help of your spouse, with the help of your in-laws, with the help of your family, everyone, you're able to do what you are. So while I am traveling, while I am at work, I know there's someone to take care of my kid back there. Only then the mother in me is rest and the entrepreneur comes out in a glorious manner. It is only possible when we have someone who is telling us that go ahead, I'm there for you. So hats off to them, and surely once they will be hearing it out, I feel the gratitude will reach them.
Okay, so Nancy, let's start with some rapid fire questions.
Sure.
Are you ready?
Yeah, bang on, bring it on.
Okay. The most hated teacher.
Most hated teacher, oh my God. Yeah, so there was one teacher in my school. This is going public, right? So I am changing the name here.
Don't
So,
name it. Okay, so
yeah.
I'll change the question. If the most hated teacher comes in front of you, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna greet her. You're gonna be the same, or you're gonna ignore her if you could ignore her.
No, I'll be greeting her in a most diplomatic manner I can, though I'm not the one. But still, because, bygones are bygones, we need to move ahead.
True. And if we make you the vice chancellor of Delhi University, what changes you would like to do for our education system?
Wow. So Delhi University will be a dreamland. It'll be something like a Disneyland is for the kids. I would make sure that each and every company is coming here for, the placement, and your students get the world-class opportunities, which probably we didn't have at our time.
And if I would take back you to your childhood, any one thing you want to change?
Wonderful. So there are many, but yeah, once I am in my childhood, I feel I wanted to travel a lot, and that I would do.
Okay. So supposingly your kids, I'm sure they will, they bring a lot of laurels. So it will be you will be thinking it's because of me or your husband or your family, whom you think is responsible for bringing laurels to your kid.
Not at all, not me, not my husband, not my family. They're creative buds. They can do whatever they want. I want them to be robust. I didn't want them that, they think that they need to be mirror image of their parents or me. It happens, inevitably when we're living 24/7 in front of them. So whatever they are, the failures or their success, the credit goes just to them.
Okay, so the last question. Supposingly you make an error on a live show, or maybe, when you're on a stage. So how will you tackle to it? Because, as we recognize it, if we make an error, we as hosts, we as anchors, we as guests, we know where we went wrong, and where it have been a better thing. So how do you manipulate on the stage or on the live show? Because a lot of times people get discouraged when they make errors on stage. So how do you manipulate that situation?
Yeah, I can get the question very well. That is what happened. What I remember here, and being a mentor in education is that gets all the more tricky. That because you are already, followed by so many. So it happened once with me. I remember that I was holding a mic and the mic just shuffled over, and everything fall over in the dice. But then I told them right away that my point was so strong that it blew away the whole stage. So that is what I will use it for my own pros, for my own publicity gimmicks.
That was amazing, Nancy. I hope you liked being on Coffee Table with Isha. You had a lovely time here. And we wish you best of luck. And we're so happy to have you on board. We feel so proud. And since I have been one of the witness of your journey, so I know it wasn't an easy task. Seems to be easy, but I've seen you working hard day and night, being on 5 a.m., working at 12. So you're an inspiration for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for such gracious words. I'll say vice versa. Trust me, Coffee with Isha has been wonderful, but it would have been, if a virtual coffee was also there, it would have been good. And one more thing, I would love to have a coffee hamper at the end of it. And one more suggestion
Sure.
for this: keep going, get the best on cards. You're doing wonderful work by inspiring the masses. Kudos to all of you. And it has been a wonderful journey because of your team and because of you personally, because the telepathy and the chemistry that we have, I feel it's the blessing of the God.
Yeah. Thank you so much. चलिए दोस्तों, मिलेंगे अगले हफ्ते एक नए गेस्ट के साथ, बातचीत करेंगे, जानेंगे और पाएंगे उनके सक्सेस मंत्रास। सो आज का सक्सेस मंत्र मेरी तरफ से है, जो एक प्रोवर्ब में छुपा हुआ है, loftiest star rises from the ground. So be persistent, जैसे नैन्सी जुनेजा जी ने कहा, और अपने सक्सेस के लिए, अपने ड्रीम के लिए धीरे 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 चलते जाइए, and one day you're gonna reach your goal. So see you again. Bye. Take care. Again on the show, Coffee Table with Isha, only on B Media. Stay tuned. And if you want to put any questions, you can put it on Facebook. You want to know about anything, you can leave the comments there. Okay. Bye. Take care.